as a milestone in peace negotiations between the Syrian government and the rebellion currently being held in Geneva. However, the evacuation appears more symbolic than practical. Only 83 of the some 2,500 residents were evacuated on Saturday. The Syrian government is allowing the evacuation of women, children, and men older than 55, and permitting the delivery of food and supplies to those who remain. For many, it is the end of a nightmare. But for younger men, suspected of belonging to the rebellion, the government has left them no choice but to stay behind. Residents here say that bread has not been available for months, and that many of them were gathering weeds and leaves to eat. One of the appeals for aid comes from a 77-year-old Dutch Catholic priest who has lived in Syria for nearly 50 years. He is refusing to leave, saying that his mission is to support the residents left behind. There's almost no food left. Hunger slowly but surely eats away at the body. A UN representative said the evacuees were being taken to destinations of their own choosing. The evacuation is seen as the first step in peace negotiations scheduled to resume in Geneva on Monday. That said, mortar fire was heard early on Saturday morning. Both the Syrian government and rebels have accused one another of breaking the truce.
Well, we now take our second break. Welcome back. And in sports, the first medals have been awarded in the ongoing Winter Olympic Games in Sochi after that elaborate opening ceremony on Friday. But fears over security in Sochi have apparently taken toll on ticket sales for a number of events. Here is CNN senior international correspondent Nick Payton-Walsh, and he now tells us more.
National fans, not a lot of bustle ahead of the grand opening. These three American chaplains, regulars helping out at Winter Olympics, were tempted to buy tickets to the opening ceremony, amazingly still available this morning.
As many Americans as normal when we're here. We usually are about one day prior to the opening ceremonies when we arrive, and I haven't interacted with a lot of English-speaking.
People got scared off?
I'm afraid so. It's unfortunate, but I'm afraid so. Speed skating, hockey.
In fact, one major US tour operator was this morning trying to sell 1,000 tickets he'd got to sell to Americans who haven't come. Brian Peters says only about 1/6 of their clients are fans. Most are family members of athletes. Normally, it's the other way around.
Demand is less than half of what we did in Vancouver. It's probably half of what I would have expected. We've had no shortage of tour clients who booked full packages, bought their tickets, planned to come. After the bombings in Volgograd, they've changed their mind. They've canceled.
And still, security looms large. Without the right pass, no liquids inside the cordon, police showed me in their rulebook. And those who had tickets, Russians, pretty angry. This ticket office not open yet to physically hand people the tickets they've already paid for.
The ticket is still Soviet Union. In what way? In the way that there is a line for everything. Like there's the internet, there's 3G, there's LTE, but you still have to get your paper. You have to wait in line for hours.
The US Embassy still expects thousands of Americans. Putin will hope for some of that to make this moment global rather than local. Nick Payton-Walsh, CNN, Sochi.
Well, from sports there, we now shift our attention to the weather report by the Central Forecast Office.
The source assures us of a continuous flow, and from there, everything follows. And for those of us who know what the River Gambia stands for, understanding its sustainability in all aspects of life is easily confirmed. The River Gambia provides nutritious delicacies as food, while it provides its wildlife a balanced ecosystem. This river, as a sanctuary, is committed to its inhabitants' needs without ceasing. And as you travel along, all these values are replicated in one company, Elton. Just like the River Gambia, leads in its commitment to values that matter most. Elton, championing the vision for a new generation.
Good evening, wonderful viewers. Welcome to Weather Forecast. We experience a warm and sunny atmosphere across the country this afternoon. Top-like picture indicates convective activities over parts of Central and Southern Africa, whilst elsewhere in the continent indicates dry and stable conditions. Tonight's forecast, we're expecting conditions to be relatively cool and breezy, especially over coastal areas. The day tomorrow, the conditions will be relatively cool, slightly hazy, and occasionally breezy during the morning, and becoming warm and sunny in the afternoon. Winds will be northeasterlies in orientation, and the speed will be about 10 to 20 kilometers per hour. Morning temperatures will be 20 degrees over Greater Banjul and North Bank, 19 degrees over West Coast, and the rest of the country will record a temperature of 21 degrees Celsius. Afternoon temperatures will be 35 degrees over Greater Banjul area, 36 over North Bank and West Coast, 37 degrees over Lower River region. Central and Upper River will record a temperature of 38 and 39 degrees Celsius respectively. The low tides will be 0.6 meters at 11:54 a.m., whilst high tides will be 1.3 meters at 5:58 a.m. and 1.4 meters at 6:53 p.m. Waves will be about 1 to 2 meters high, southwesterly swells. The sun will rise at 7:31 in the morning and will set at 19:09 in the evening. Thanks for watching and do enjoy the rest of the evening.
Well, from the weather report there by Hadinjai, a quick reminder of our headline-making stories. President International Award has rewarded deserving members with gold honors at a glittering ceremony presided over by the Vice President and Minister for Women's Affairs, Her Excellency Dr. Ajar Isatunjai Saidi. The Minister of Works, Construction, Transport and Infrastructure, Balagaba Jahumpa, has toured vital road projects in the capital city and parts of the West Coast region. Record-breaking royal King Juan Carlos' youngest daughter, Cristina, is in the dock as she faced alleged fraud charges. In mayhem has been gripped Sarajevo as youths clash with police over economic insecurity, biting an increasing number of jobless Bosnians. Well, that's all in this edition of the news. Thanks for the pleasure of your company. Until then, I am Fatou Janembai, and good night.
The Gambia Tourism Board proudly presents the second edition of the Food and Beverage Festival in the Smiley Coast of Africa, the Gambia. Date on Saturday and Sunday, February 8th and February 9th, 2014. The second edition of the Food and Beverage Festival will be happening at the Green Mamba Gardens and Jacarlo Bar and Restaurant in Senegambia. Entertainment will be provided by the King of Kora, Jaliba Kuyate, and the Kumare Band will be present.
Food and Beverage Festival at home 8 and 9 meter laje avec kila sudo men de dialaba.
There will be live performances by Gambian artists, drummers, acrobats, singing competition, eating competition, wrestling competition, and many more. Prepare yourself for local and international cuisines, for they will be there in abundance. Entrance fee is only $100. Proudly sponsored by Banjul Breweries and
Thank you.